back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back, one. Welcome back. Today we have more news coming out from the stock market and a lot of great stuff are going in. But however, we are still receiving more bad news and a lot of uncertainty are continue to escalate due to recent U.S. and China relationship have worsened. So that is what we are seeing, and as a result, FUD is continuing to grow even though this U.S. stock market has exit out their technical bear market. Even though that is the case, we are still retesting the market confidence here, and this is what we are seeing. Recent U.S. data order rise solidly in June, beat expectation. However, this is not our most recent data that we really wanted because we need the July data. That is when the federal government has hiked up the interest rate by 3/4 basic point. So we want to see the effect of it. But this data kind of foreshadow of what the U.S. economy has been performing within that 2-month period prior to our most recent data that we need for the month of July. Let's look here. New order for U.S. manufactured goods increased solidly in June, and business spending on equipment was stronger than initially thought, pointing to underlying strength in manufacturing despite rising interest rate. So this data is just from the month of June, which is really not reliable to the point that we need. The Commerce Department said on Wednesday that factory order rose 2% in June after advancing 1.8% in May. Economic poll by Reuters have forecasted factory order would increase 1.1%. Order increased 13.5% on a year-on-year basis. And here, let's hear. Manufacturing continued to grow, though its momentum has slowed as higher interest rate cooled demand for goods. That is what we are seeing. This is what we have been looking for. Spending is also reverted back at two services. An Institute for Supply Management survey on Monday showed factory activity growing at a moderate pace in July, with a measure of new order decline further as manufacturers worry about excess inventory. This is what we must be concerned. So not that great news, even though we have seen factory order has risen up all the way in June, but however, July is what really concerned us. And when July data come out, we can really reevaluate the situation and understand where the U.S. economy is heading right now, because that is where we are now seeing and begin to see more troubling sign of a recession. Okay, not so recently, shipping firm Maersk, a barometer for global trade, warned of weak demand and warehouse fill due to what? Interest rate, excess inventory, and slowing demand for consumer product. That is what we are seeing, and these institutions are now reiterating the phrase recession, economic cool down, economic slowdown. A lot of fear are now being created within the stock market. And right now, let's look here. The Danish shipping and logistics company, a barometer for global trade, say it loaded 7.4% fewer containers onto ship in the second quarter versus a year earlier. Here, we see a sign of slow economic growth. This is the true sign of a recession in an economic growth. But how poorly or how slowly can the U.S. economy cool down? There's really not a great answer here because there's still that great uncertainty. So they say they loaded 7.4% fewer container onto ship in the second quarter. That means less product being manufactured and also being exported or imported into any other country. So that is what we are seeing, and the trickle effect continue throughout the year. So geopolitical uncertainty and high inflation via higher energy price continue to weigh on consumer sentiment and growth expectation. So geopolitical uncertainty, we have the Russia-Ukraine crisis, the U.S.-China crisis just recently, and also Russia just cut off 20% of natural gas to Germany. So they are now showing sign, hey, we possess all these natural supply and you need them in order to keep your economy from collapsing. So we are still seeing geopolitical tension continue to grow and continue to escalate beyond our imagination. Let's look more. Tech company, warehouse company, e-commerce, Amazon shrinks staff by 100,000 employees. Join Netflix and Google in hiring slowdown. What we are seeing, economic slowdown. So a lot of people are fearing for a possibility of a recession. And not even worse is that we won't enter recession, but we might enter a territory where economic slowdown can trigger a recession. But right now we are seeing massive round of layoffs continue for many different industry and sector. Continue to follow this trend. Hey guys, we need to conserve our cash capital, and by any means we will let go of you. Even though, even though we are not in an official recession, we are still in that sense, hey, we need to conserve our cash capital. Amazon now has about 100,000 fewer employees than in the previous quarter. What are we seeing? Amazon just cut on layering more people. And now we are still seeing trend continue. Not only Amazon is doing this, but what? Neenah Foundry announced more than 100 layoffs. Wow. We just have another institution announcing layoff. This is what we are seeing. A major Fox Valley employer is laying off 115 workers. Here, according to a notice filed with the State Department of Workforce Development, Neenah will be laying off the workers on September 27. Here, we are seeing economic slowdown. This trend continues. We cannot reject the notion of the U.S. economy entering a bear market. Recently, New York Mayor Eric Adams just stated, hey, the U.S. is in a recession. Katie Wood just stated the same thing. So, this trend continues. But you might be surprised. Recent victim in the San Francisco tech thief named Allbirds favorite shoemaker continued to lay off. After recent exit from Geico, closing 38 shops and offices in California. Wow, we are now seeing trend continuing. Can we refute the idea that a recession is not a possibility? However, that is still the case here. We cannot reject the notion that recession won't happen. 23 employees were laid off, an Allbirds spokesman confirmed to SF Gate. On Tuesday, the staff cut was first posted on layoff.fyi, a layoff tracker for startup. Here, economic cooldown, that is what I'm seeing. Last but not least, let's look at Apple. Apple App Store decelerated to just 1% growth in July. Isn't this a sign of concern? Well, folks, in the end though, the US market is entering a bear market and there's still great uncertainty lie ahead. And there are no great answer or assurance that the US economy will not enter a recession. Why can't we say so? Why can't we reject that notion that that is not a possibility? Well, let's look at recent trend. More companies are now continuing to lay off an employee. Job opening continue to decline as the labor market continue to tighten. Even though it was our latest factory manufacturer fall in June, continue to show that it had rose beyond our imagination. But however, that is only June data. That is not the July data that really consistent with what is going on. Geopolitical tension continue to rise. Russia and the Ukraine, China and the US. That is what we are seeing. And then I hope everyone enjoyed watching my video. And if you do, please click on that subscribe button and also don't forget to click on that like button. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.